Okay. So, dear listeners, watchers as the case may be, I'm interviewing Virginia Carter. She is a Republican and a sitting judge.
Not yet.
Well, hopefully soon, because this lady has credentials that make you feel comfortable when you go in the courtroom, especially if you're the victim, because she understands. She's been around the criminal court for over 22 years, has 17 years as a business person. What kind of business did you have?
The law office of Virginia Carter.
Isn't that amazing? Well, that's appropriate, isn't it?
It is appropriate.
We've seen the good, bad, and the ugly, haven't you?
I have, yes. I've been a prosecutor and a defense attorney for 22 years, and I'm the only one in the race that has that much experience.
Mm-hmm.
That's more than double my opponent,
Mm-hmm.
and I have owned my own business for 17, and my opponent has never owned a business at all.
It doesn't understand what somebody who gets robbed or beat up for their money or whatever.
Or during COVID when you have to pay employees, whether there's any business or not.
Yes.
And also, the important thing about that is the court is a business. I don't have a budget.
Mm-hmm.
And so we need not only a criminal law practitioner, but a business practitioner as well, because both of those things come together in order to run a court. So on day one, January 1st, 2023, I'm going to be ready to go.
Good deal. And no matter how loaded the docket, you're ready.
Well, the docket is very loaded.
Mm-hmm.
There are probably 200 cases a month that are filed, and we are probably at least 2 years behind.
Ouch. Give me a kind of a brief rundown of the gambit of the kinds of cases that might come in front of you.
Well, it's pretty easy because it's family violence.
Uh-huh.
So that's pretty much all my court is going to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time that is a man on a woman,
Mm-hmm.
and they have to be in some kind of either married or dating or prior married or dating relationship.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's unfortunate that even happens, but it does.
Right.
And are these, excuse my naivete, but is this a jury situation, or is it something that the judge hears and makes a determination?
All of those.
All
It
of
could
those.
be a jury. It could be just in front of me as the judge without a jury. It could be a plea situation where the defendant takes a plea in front of me
Mm-hmm.
for probation.
I see.
Could be for a Class A misdemeanor, which the defendant is exposed to up to a year in jail and up to a $4,000 fine.
Mhm.
Could be a Class C, where the case is a Class A and then it gets dropped to a Class C, and that is only up to a $500 fine.
I
And
see.
so that person would be on probably a non-reporting deferred for a Class C, and that happens some.
Yeah,
And then there are dismissals. There are those as
there
well.
are. And there are, gee, I did it, and I really screwed up, and
Absolutely.
I feel bad about it.
And you need some help.
Yeah.
You need some help.
You make some wonderful comments, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
And by the way, I did buy this lady coffee. It doesn't mean that I'm committed or anything, but I don't want to be committed. That means that I am. So I'm going to give her some coffee so she feels comfortable. Not that she doesn't, but
Thanks.
she has been through the ringer in her career, and I can draw a parallel to that in my news business. So,
Yes.
so according to your what they call this, push sheet or
Push card.
push card.
Yes.
At the time of the printing, there was 181 cases in the county court number 6, and you've already addressed that. But voted the top attorney 9 years in a row.
Yes.
That's something that would make my chest just swell with thank yous. Just
Well,
doing my job kind of a thing.
It is an honor because you're chosen by your peers. And so I've been chosen 9 years in a row to be a top attorney in the criminal law section.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just an honor because others can see what I do and I hope respect it.
Mhm.
But let me tell you about this 181 times versus 22 times.
Right.
That's really important because what that says is that I have been in County Criminal Court number 6 181 times versus my opponent who's been in County Criminal Court number 6, and that's the court we're running for. She's only been in County Criminal Court number 6 22 times. The importance of that is when it says that I've been in there 181 times, that means I've been in there for a plea, a trial, a hearing, or something like that. And in order to get to that point, I've been in that court probably a minimum of 5 times before that. So if you do the math, that means I've been in County Criminal Court number 6, the court I'm running for, at least 1,000 times. And what it means about my opponent is she's been in there 22 times. So do the math on that. That's about 100 times. So I've been in that court 1,000 times. My opponent has been in that court only 22 times, which equals about 100 times to get to a plea or a trial or a hearing or whatever. So you don't have to just trust me on the math about I have a lot more criminal law experience. 1,000 versus 100, you can do that math and you can find out those numbers at the county clerk's office as well.
Mhm. So that definitely speaks to your experience.
Yes.
But let's talk about the giving part of what you do, which is public defender, both for drug court as well as the mental health.
Yes.
That takes a certain kind of person just to deal with that.
My dad was a doctor here in Lake Worth,
Really.
and he used to take us on house calls with him, and we had patients pay with tamales and firewood
Chickens.
and a lot of different things. Our favorite was somebody paid us in cinnamon rolls.
Ooh.
And so we saw my dad help people all the time.
Yeah.
And the 4 of us we want to help people. That's what I want to do. Just a little story to let you know. During COVID, I helped many, many times with food banks in Lake Worth at Lake Worth Baptist Church,
Mhm.
and also with a food pantry there. And we do trash pickup around the lake because I live right on the lake. We do trash pickup there all the time.
Mhm.
And another little story, I've represented a victim in Sanson Park recently, and she was living in a shed behind a house. And the people who live there are kind of a clan, probably a sort of a hillbilly clan, if you will. Probably 15 or so people living in the same house. And she was, I guess, put off back in this shed where there's no water, and no running water, no bathroom, no heat, no air. And she was made to live out there. She was also sexually abused, emotionally abused, and mentally abused. She has 4 children by not only one man in the household, but his son. And I helped her to get out of that situation. I put her up in a hotel many times, and I did have the help of Carolyn Gilmore, who is used to be the Sanson Park Chief of Police. Now she's running for Precinct 4 Constable. She helped me with money to put this lady up in a hotel, and she helped me with getting her some treatment, and she would let her bathe and shower over at the PD. In my community, on my street, we got her some clothes and got her purses and, personal things.
Sure.
So this isn't just talking. I'm actually doing things to help people. She's a victim, and I want to help victims of family violence to move past what's happened to them and hopefully gain some self-worth and just to be able to move on.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's the key in life, isn't it?
It is.
Is you can take what's thrown at you, and it's only by the grace of God and effort by people like yourself, obviously, that you can move on with your life and,
Right.
and do better.
Right.
Now, I've been in the newspaper business 50 years, newspaper, media, whatever. And when it comes to choosing people to represent us in the community, to deal with issues in the community, I always believe in looking to what they do instead of what they say.
Right.
Saying is fine, doing is everything.
Right.
I truly appreciate the opportunity
Thank you so
to
much for
record
having me.
your journey, and I feel confident that you'll do well.
Well, early voting is today through Friday, 7 to 7, and the election is March 1st, which is next Tuesday. And I would surely appreciate you to get out and vote, and remember, vote Virginia.
Thank you.